Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men. I am Skip, LaCour. So glad you are joining me here today. When you come on, say hello. Tell me where you're watching me from. Let's talk fitness this morning. So glad you are here. Joining me live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Coming to you live in the morning. All right. Tell me where you're watching me from. Is this your morning commute? Are you in the gym? Are you on your way to the gym doing cardio? Let's talk fitness. We become what we think about most. If you have any fitness questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. If you're new here, let me know that. If you're new here, make sure that you follow. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men. Again, say hello. Tell me where you're watching me from. If you got any fitness questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. How many of you are brand new to the social media platform, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube? Let me know if you're new here. You want a free copy of my audiobook, Spoken My Way, Fitness My Way, text me. Get you a link. Our Power gets you focused on what you need to be focusing on most. And by process elimination, as you know, there's so much information out there. What do you need to focus on? Which is important, which is not? How do I get a better back? What are you doing right now? What do you want? What are you doing right now? Are you working out right now? Where are we starting from? Right? Rose. All right, is that too simple? All right. You know, I'll tell you this, a lot of men you hear wide grip for a wide back. You know what's going to give you a wide back is losing that body fat. You know, the first place it goes on, the last place it comes off is around the waist, those love handles, right? You know, but losing that body fat will give you that illusion of a wide V taper. Anthony, good morning, sir. Good to have you here. Bigger lats, just competed. Well, you know what to do there, Andy, right? Just more of it. In the sauna. Man, I tell you, my son, he just had some basketball. I had a Sunday of sports and just went to the gym, he and I, and just sat in the sauna, hot shower. Didn't even work out. Had enough of a workout. Love the sauna. We've talked about the sauna here on, I don't know if it's yesterday's show or the day before, talking about the benefits of a sauna, how it helps muscle building. And wasn't so sure of that, but I can tell you that sauna sure feels good. That's what I look forward to these days with my workout, is the sauna afterwards, right? So enjoy your time in there, Anthony. Good morning. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men, gentlemen. I am Skip LaCour. So glad you are joining me here. Got a lot of videos here, whatever platform you're on, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. All right, this is a channel to learn from. Love it. Have you tried cry? I have not. But I've got a lot of videos for you to learn from, so I'm so glad you're here. If you're new here, let me know that. If you're new here on TikTok, make sure you follow. Let me know if you're new strolling through over on YouTube. I'm going to give myself, this is my month, is my big push. So look for me about this time. It's 3:24 Pacific time right now. It's insane. Insane in a good way, I'm sure. So welcome, gentlemen. So glad you are here. The 123 kid, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate that gesture. So this is the beginning of a grind for me. I got some ambitious plans to help you in this new year, and one of them is going to be me doing this simulcasted live broadcast every morning for your morning commute and your morning workout or your morning cardio. So I think this is day 3. Right, I've been doing this live on TikTok every morning about this time, but I'm going to work on I'm just going to just do it, be here every morning, start my day with you here this morning. You guys, if you have any questions, make sure that you ask them. I got lots of ways to help you reach your goals. One of them is by answering questions here, making sure you follow. Got lots of videos that I post, blog posts, essays, tips all throughout the day. Again, visit a couple times a day, just visiting this TikTok page will give you some accountability, right? We become what we think about most. I'm pumping it out all day long here on my social media platforms, so make sure that you follow. Again, if you're new here, let me know that. If you guys have any fitness question, Sus PFP, Andy Newman, content creator. Not even sure what that means. How'd you do in your contest there, Andy? What type of contest was it? I mean, a lot of guys who, back in my day, it was just, bodybuilding, right? But now with all the physique contests and everything like that, what level were you at? Welcome, 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 guys. If you guys have any questions, make sure you ask them. All right, so glad you are here. Hit the like button. Hit some likes. Share this video. Starting the grind, start building a show here for you guys, your morning commute. If you're a little bit older, you have a busy, productive life. Your morning commute, your morning cardio. Maybe I'll get you up in the morning early with me to get your workout in. So welcome, 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 gentlemen. Plan my day. Well, I'm with you this morning answering questions. And if you guys want, hey, thank you for those hearts. Say hello. If you're watching again, if you guys have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. You want to text me, I'll give you my audio book, absolutely free. Spoken My Way, Fitness My Way. Proven strategies, real world lessons. All right. Straight talk. Spoken My Way, Fitness My Way, my free audio book. And go to talkwithskip.com, fill out that questionnaire, tell me your story, tell me where you're at. Be more than happy to take a look at it, get you to that next level. Men who are a little older, men with busy, productive lives, men who have already succeeded in business, in family, in contribution, men who know there's still another level waiting to be reached. When you listen to fitness advice on the internet, it can feel like a fire hose of confusion. Everyone's shouting at you, more sets, more reps, longer workouts, stricter diets, extreme lifestyles. And the truth is, a lot of those voices belong to younger guys who simply don't understand your life. They don't understand your responsibilities, your priorities, your body at this stage of the game. I do, because I've lived it, because I've coached thousands of men who've lived it, and because I've made it my mission to help men like you cut through the noise, simplify the process, and finally get the results you've been chasing. This audiobook is not a list of cookie cutter workout plans. It's not another pep talk about grinding harder. This is my life's work, told in my voice, through my stories, through the lessons I've learned in the gym, in business, in life, and as a husband and father. Here you'll find strategies that are efficient, sustainable, and effective. You'll hear analogies, examples, and real-world coaching lessons that stick. And at the end of every chapter, I'll give you a next step, a way to connect with me directly so we can go even deeper together, because information alone won't change your life. It's connection, guidance, accountability, and trust that make the difference. So let's get started. Let's get into Spoken My Way, Fitness My Way. Chapter 1, Why Older Men Need a New Fitness Playbook. Gentlemen, if you're listening to this audiobook, chances are you've accomplished a lot in life.
You've built a career, raised a family, handled responsibilities most people couldn't imagine. But when it comes to fitness, when it comes to taking care of your body as you get older, you can't just play by the same rules you did at 25. The game has changed, and it's time for a new playbook. Here's the truth: the fitness industry doesn't talk to you, it's full of loud, young voices, guys with endless energy, guys who live in the gym, guys who don't yet know what it feels like to wake up with stiff joints, to juggle business calls between sets, to carry the weight of a family on your shoulders while also trying to carry the weight on the barbell. When you follow their advice blindly, you're setting yourself up for frustration. Why? Because their lives are different, their bodies are different, their priorities are different. That doesn't mean you can't build muscle, lose fat, and look great in your 50s, 60s, and beyond. It just means like you need a system that respects where you're at, a system that values efficiency over excess, a system that simplifies instead of complicates. I call this the fitness playbook for older men. It's not about doing less, it's about doing the right things. It's not about training longer, it's about training smarter. It's not about eating perfectly, it's about eating consistently. And here's the most important part: it's not just about your body, it's about your mind, your confidence, your energy, your ability to lead your family and dominate in your career. Fitness is the foundation that supports everything else. So in this book, I'm giving you that playbook, page by page, chapter by chapter, story by story. The rules are different now, but the opportunity is greater than ever. Because when you finally crack this code, when you finally get it right, you'll not only transform your body, you'll transform your entire life. Don't just listen, act. If you're ready to create your own playbook, go to talkwithskip.com right now. Fill out that questionnaire, take a picture and send it to me if you want. Show me you're serious, and I'll personally reach out. The men who win are the men who take that next step. Chapter 2, my...
Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome, Randall. How are you today, sir? Great to have you on Facebook. So glad you're here. So glad you're always here. I appreciate all the likes, the comments that you share. If you guys are, make sure you go to my Facebook page. They've got 500,000 men over there. There's a lot of comments. They share their routines and their thoughts. It's not really one of those community pages, but a lot of comments going on there. A lot of fitness information strolling through. I post it throughout the day there. So make sure you're on my Facebook page too. If you're on TikTok, say hello. If you're new strolling through, say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me how old you are. Make sure that you follow. The kid, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the hearts. You guys tap that screen over on TikTok. Get more men coming here this morning for our morning show. Andy, you still there? I want to know how you did on your show. Welcome, guys. So glad you are here. So glad you're here. So when you come on, say hello. Tell me where you're watching me from. If you guys have any fitness questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Make sure you go to my skiplacour.com website. Got short videos, long videos, blog posts, workout routines, diets, videos, explaining it all. The Workouts for Older Men podcast on your favorite podcast platform. All right, so all the different ways for you to learn. So just start coming here, hanging out in the morning.
story. From competitive body 5, at 25, you can get away with anything. Bad recovery, junk food, marathon workouts, sleepless nights, you bounce back. At 55, not so much. But that's not a weakness. That's wisdom knocking on your door. That's your body telling you it needs a smarter approach. This is where the identity shift happens. You stop trying to live in the past. You stop comparing yourself to what you used to do. Instead, you step into the identity of a man who's efficient, disciplined, and strategic, a man who takes pride in working smarter. I like to use a sports analogy here. Imagine a veteran quarterback in his late 30s. He doesn't scramble like he did at 22. He doesn't outrun linebackers anymore, but he's more dangerous than ever because now he knows the game. He sees the field differently. He plays smarter. That's you in fitness. You don't need to train harder than everyone else. You just need to train smarter than everyone else. And when you make that shift in identity, everything changes. You stop beating yourself up for what you used to do, and you start winning with what you can do right now. The biggest barrier to your fitness success isn't your body, it's your mindset. When you let go of the old identity and step into the man you are today, you'll finally unlock the progress you've been chasing. Don't waste another year stuck in the past. Go to talkwithskip.com right now. Fill out that questionnaire. Send me a picture if you want to take it to the next level. Let's build your fitness identity for who you are today and who you want to become tomorrow. Chapter 6, the overload principle, explained the right way. If there's one principle that separates real results from wasted effort, it's this: overload. You've probably heard the phrase progressive overload before, but most men either misunderstand it or they turn it into something far more complicated than it needs to be. Today, I want to strip it down and explain it in a way that works for older men like us. Here's the basic truth. Your muscles only grow when they're forced to adapt to a challenge greater than what they're used to. That's overload. Now, a lot of guys take this the wrong way. They think it means you need to add weight to the bar every single workout. If you benched 185 pounds last week, you better bench 190 this week or you've failed. That's not how it works, especially not when you're older.
Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men. You want my audiobook? Text me on the number on the screen, and I'll get that for you, absolutely free.
Controlling the tempo of your lift, better concentration or mind-muscle connection. The point isn't to punish yourself. The point is to give your body a reason to change. And here's where older men go wrong. They either push too hard, too fast, and end up injured, or they stop challenging themselves altogether because they're afraid of injury. Both are mistakes. The sweet spot is controlled, intelligent overload. Push your muscles beyond their comfort zone, but do it with structure, with awareness, and with respect for your recovery. That's how you keep making progress year after year without breaking down. Think of it like business. Again, you don't double your revenue overnight by gambling everything. You grow by making strategic, consistent moves that stretch your capabilities without destroying the foundation. That's overload. The overload principle isn't about ego lifting. It's about steady, strategic progress. Every rep, every set, every workout is an opportunity to challenge yourself just a little more. And that's how transformation happens. If you're tired of just going through the motions and you're ready to finally apply the overload principle the right way, go to talkwithskip.com right now. Fill out that questionnaire. Send me a picture if you want to stand out. Let's build a program designed for you so you can keep growing without the setbacks. Chapter 7, warm-up versus wasting time. How I train smarter now. When most men think about warming up, they picture 20 minutes on the treadmill, a bunch of stretches, maybe some light sets before the real workout begins. But let me tell you something I've learned after decades of training. Most warm-ups are a complete waste of time. Here's the problem. A lot of men treat their warm-up like a workout in itself. They think they're not getting loose or preventing injury by dragging out 30 minutes of prep work before ever touching a real weight. By the time they actually get to their first set, their energy is drained and they wonder why they can't push as hard as they need to. Now, don't get me wrong, warming up matters, but warming up has one purpose: to get your body, your mind, and your nervous system ready for the heavy lifting that counts. That's it. Here's how I do it. Step one, mental focus. Before I ever touch a weight, I'm already in the game. I'm thinking about the exercise, the muscles I'm about to attack, and how I'm going to push past my limits. That's part of my warm up. Step two, a couple of strategic lighter sets, not 10, not 20, just enough to groove the movement pattern, wake up the joints, and prime the muscles. Step three, go heavy. Once I've greased the groove, I don't waste energy. I get into my working sets as soon as possible. That's it. Simple, efficient, effective. The truth is, once your first exercise is warmed up, the rest of your body is ready. You don't need to warm up for every single movement after that. You're wasting energy if you do. This is especially important for older men. You don't have recovery to waste. Like every ounce of energy matters. Save it for the sets that count. Think of it like a race car. You don't drive laps around the track for an hour before the race. You rev the engine, you check the tires, you get everything firing, and then you hit it full speed. A warm-up should prepare you, not exhaust you. Keep it short, keep it focused, and then get after it. That's how you train smarter and keep making progress without burning out. If you're ready to stop wasting time with endless warm-ups and learn how to channel your energy into the sets that matter, I'll go to talkwithskip.com right now. Fill out that questionnaire. Send me a picture if you want to stand out. Let's design a training plan that's efficient, powerful, and made for you. Chapter 8.
Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men. I am Skip LaCour. So glad you're joining me here today. When you come on, say hello. Guys, have any fitness questions? Ask them. So glad you're here. If you're new here, scrolling through TikTok, let me know. If you're new here, let me know where you're watching me from. Again, so glad you're here. Come to you live this morning. I've been doing this a while on TikTok in the morning. So if you're new here, say hello. So glad you are here. Make sure you follow. Go to my playlist, 30 Lessons in 30 Days. It's probably where I can probably help you immediately. You can see a lot of men, they don't really know the questions really to ask, right? So you'll see all the top, and you can pick and choose from the 30, go in the order that you feel you need most. When you're done with all 30 lessons, get a good holistic understanding of how to build muscle and lose body fat. I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. If you're new here on TikTok, let me know that. Got any questions about training, nutrition, want to get some validation if you're doing it right. If you need a workout routine, feel free to text me. Text me on the number on the screen. I can get you a 3-day workout routine, a 4-day workout routine, a 5-day workout routine. I'll tell you which body parts to train on which days, in which order, how many sets, how many reps. Now, the real magic is in the workout routine, believe it or not. Once you have that structure, now you got to know what overload is, what the purpose of weight training is, muscle building, challenging yourself a little bit more safely, of course, right? And then also backing it up with good eating habits, not only to support muscle growth, but to lose the body fat, keep it off. That's going to really show off your physique more. That's going to make the biggest transformation in the body that you want. A lot more than how much muscle you're going to build in a shorter period of time. It's important that you understand that. A lot of guys don't quite understand that. So thank you so much for being here, the show this morning. I look forward to the show this 3 o'clock hour. It's 3 a.m. Pacific time where I am, 6 a.m. Eastern time, all right? So make sure you come on. I've been doing this for a while on TikTok every morning about this time. Well, just about every morning. I start doing it every morning and then open it up to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you are watching this in the replay version, post your questions, all right? Because maybe you missed the show live. So tomorrow what I'll do is I'll just go right through all the questions that are answered. So I know a lot of you, especially as I'm doing this, just starting up, we're doing this show at this time, right? And making you guys aware of it. So So when you're watching this in the replay version, go ahead and post your questions. And so then tomorrow I'll just go from one to the other. All right, but make sure you follow, get my free audiobook. Text me at the number on the screen and get my free audiobook. I'll get that to you. Spoken My Way, Fitness My Way. Get my 37 years of experience, not just doing, but helping out men like you.
The truth about sets and reps for older men. One of the most common questions I get is this, Skip, how many sets should I do? How many reps? And I get it. When you're bombarded with cookie cutter programs online, it feels like the answer is some magic formula. 3 sets of 10, 5 sets of 5, high reps, low reps, drop sets, supersets. But the truth is, for older men like us, sets and reps are a tool, not a religion. Let's start with what most men do wrong. They follow numbers blindly. And some influencer says, do 4 sets of 12. So they do 4 sets of 12, whether the weight is challenging or not, whether they're even training the right way or not. That's missing the point. The real question isn't, how many sets and reps should I do? The real question is, am I training hard enough to force my muscles to adapt, and am I recovering enough to do it again? For older men, here's the sweet spot. Reps, stay mostly in the moderate range, 6 to 12, heavy enough to build strength, controlled enough to protect your joints. Sets, enough to stimulate the muscle, not so much that you're digging yourself into a recovery hole. That usually means 2 to 4 good working sets per exercise, depending on your energy in recovery. Quality over quantity. One brutally focused set done right is worth 10 half-hearted sets where you're just going through the motions. Think of it like this. Would you rather fire 10 weak arrows that barely hit the target?
So Randall asked, leg day today. I'm training before my breakfast. Any downsides to that? That matters. No, I mean, it's getting your nutrition. I mean, you ate yesterday, hopefully a good meal. Yesterday, you still got those nutrients inside of you. I've trained, I've had nutrient timing, the specific amount of protein, carbs, and fat before the workout, right after the workout, right? All the current science, right? Did that for years on my way to becoming a 6-time national champion. I've done all these strategies, right? But I don't train I don't eat before my workouts. I just like don't like anything in my stomach, right? And again, you hear a lot of different things for what we're trying to accomplish, and that's not going to make a difference. Eat afterwards. Not necessarily you got to pound down a protein shake the minute you step off the gym floor. I don't know how. I don't believe that's quite as important as some people say. Get it in, hit those calorie totals for the day, and then that's what's most important. It's that consistency over time that matters most. Got up this early morning to hear the show. Haven't seen 6 a.m. since September 26. What does that mean, Randall? You haven't seen this show since September 26? What does that mean? Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men. I am Skip LaCour. So glad you are joining me. If you're new, going through my TikTok page, through my YouTube channel, if you're new here, say hello. Tell me where you're watching me from. If you're already following me, let me know that. If you're new, tell me where you're new, like over on YouTube. Are you just scrolling through, seeing this live broadcast? If you're new here on TikTok, TikTok's kind of set up where if you're somewhat interested, the lives will start scrolling through. It's a really good format for lives. Facebook, not so much. Got 500,000 men over that, 540, but nobody gets alerted that I'm going live. So since retiring, so since retiring, you haven't seen one of my shows? Does that mean you retired and Now you get up later, so you're not up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Because I haven't been doing this show. I've been doing it live on TikTok, not on Facebook. So are you a Facebook guy? And what are you saying? That you haven't seen this live broadcast since retiring? Because I just started back up in the last couple of days. So if that's if that's what you're saying. Lewis, digestion of many years of difficult to keep. Finally, more 10 years. Not sure what you mean, Lewis. There, you could rephrase that. Are you making a statement? Is there a question there about digestion? Or are you just talking about your journey? I'm not sure. So let me know that. Welcome, 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 gentlemen. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men. I am Skip LaCour. So glad you're joining me here this morning. So if you're watching this in the replay version, all right, if you're watching the replay and you missed the live broadcast, make sure you post your questions in the comment section. And what I'll do is I'll start the next show with your questions, all right? Nutrition, food, vitamins. Okay. So Facebook, yes, since retiring, glad to see you live again. Okay, thanks for the answer to my question. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'm just starting the show up. Like I said, I'm sitting right now in front of 4 different cameras, right? So I've been going live on TikTok at this time, but I thought I would start going, turn it on. So now I'm going live on my YouTube channel. Got 30,000 or so subscribers there, 500,000 over on Facebook. I don't know, close, getting 43,000 on TikTok and about 20,000 on Instagram. So thought I'd just go ahead and broadcast it on all the different formats. Getting up early this morning. It's 3:53 in the morning here, answering your questions again. So as I get into this pattern, come join the show, ask any questions, or any comments. Tell me what you're doing. All right, if you want some validation, you may be doing pretty well. Maybe you just need some validation, all the information. You want to bounce out some of the strategies that you've heard. We can do that. So Lewis says, I was in the hospital, or, I see. How are you feeling now? You feeling a lot better now? How long ago was that, Lewis? Sorry to hear that. Hope your recovery is going well. All right, Jake. So Jake asked on TikTok, do you reckon a gradual self-tanner is good to try tan to get more definition if you burn in the sun? Like a tanning moisturizer. Oh, to make you look more defined, that being tan. What is a tanning moisturizer? Is that for just for walking around, right? You're gonna put that all over your body? What are you talking about? Or are you talking about a tan? a tanning moisturizer. Yeah, you're from Australia. So you want, a tan body, you get lean, you look good, want to take off your shirt. A tan body shows off the definition that you do have a lot better, no doubt about that, right? So you just talked about walking around, Jake. Yeah. Well, as a competitive bodybuilder, right? And I did that for 15 straight years. You can work really hard, get lean, but you want to just show off your body. The definition, how your work, you're lean, how lean you are. I mean, that's a big, huge part. But when you're on stage on the lights, you want to create the illusion to show off your hard work. So tanning is a very important part of that. Back when I used to compete 22 years ago, it was kind of a really involved process. I mean, you would tan in the sun for a base. You would scrub your skin a lot, right? But like I said, you tan in the sun. You tan in the tanning booth to get a really dark, natural base tan. And then, the tanning, you apply, if you see the contest pictures, you apply layers of like an alcohol-based tanning. And you wouldn't just do one layer before you stepped on stage. You would start it really days before, a layer here, a layer here, a layer here. So I mean, it was a really complicated process, but it really made a huge difference, right? Now, so that's still true. The tanner you are on stage, it shows off that definition. And nowadays, I just what I see from social media. I mean, you don't even have to waste all that time. All that time I spent tanning, I don't even know how good that was for me, right? But if you're going to do all the work and all the dieting, and you're trying to repeat as a national champion, I mean, you're going to do all those details. That's the whole obsessive nature of of bodybuilding, is doing whatever it takes to look perfect on stage, right? But now all they do, right? They don't have to tan. They don't spend all that time in a tanning booth or in the sun, which is probably healthy for you. And they just white as a ghost. They come in there and just slap on a tan, and I mean, looks great on stage. I don't know how much better all that work I did tanning, all those hours and hours and hours preparing, looks just as good with whatever tanning creams that they have. So that's the advances of everything, right? So yeah, let's see, it's summertime in Australia, right? You're ready to get out in the sun and show off your body. Is that it? Yeah, no, it works. So yeah, I just want to see if it works. But again, you gotta make sure you do all the hard work and get lean, and right, and then that's the finishing touches, right? Yeah, you went to the beach looking lean. Yeah, but that extra depth of tan would make much better, That's true, At what price? I'd say stay out of the sun, put on the tanner, and you probably look amazing. I'll tell you, if Jake, you work so hard, you look so good. A lot of men, right, don't even feel comfortable taking off their shirt, right? So if you got your shirt off on the beach, you're probably doing well. I mean, and that tanning will be the finishing touches, right? But yeah, it definitely works when you've done all the work. So tell me how that works out for you. Welcome, 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 gentlemen. Workouts for older men. I am Skip LaCour. So glad you are joining me here. If you are new here, let me know that. All right. If you're new here, make sure you follow. Right. If you're catching this in the replay version on Instagram, on Facebook, or on YouTube, Make sure you post your questions and I'll start off the show. So start looking. I'm afraid to try to figure out what you mean by that. Goober toots. I don't feel like looking on Urban Dictionary, and I'm not going to even address that. But thank you for the likes. Welcome, 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 gentlemen. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men. So glad you are here.
Or 3 powerful arrows that strike dead center. As we get older, efficiency matters. Your muscles don't care about a number on a piece of paper. They care about intensity, focus, and consistency. And here's the kicker. When you train this way, you're not just protecting your body, you're creating a plan you can actually stick with. And sticking with it is the only way you win long term. Sets and reps aren't the secret. The secret is making every set and every rep count. Train with purpose, not by prescription, and you'll finally see the progress you've been missing. If you're tired of guessing how many sets and reps you should be doing and you want a plan tailored to your body, your goals, and your lifestyle, go to talkwithskip.com right now. Fill out that questionnaire, send me a picture if you're ready to take this seriously. Let's cut through the numbers game and create a plan that works for you.
Good morning, Ben.
Chapter 9, why recovery is the hidden key to growth. Most men think the results come from training harder, more sets, more days in the gym, more intensity. But here's the truth. Your body doesn't grow in the gym. It grows when...
Okay, so tank 13. So I track every macro calories are on point, drink a ton of water, but my scale keeps going up. Could it be retention? Well, it could be. Tell me how long you've been doing this, right? And how many, when you count those macros, when you count those calories, how many calories is that, right? See, I get the feeling, Tank, from my experience that that you're kind of new on the journey. Maybe within the first couple of weeks, tracking your calories, getting serious about that. Maybe you didn't really watch before. Not that you were fat, but you're eating pounds. Now you're eating the way that you should, and so now this scale is going up. Am I right? Have you been kind of on this journey 2 weeks or less? Oh, let's see. I lost 140 pounds in just under 2 years. Okay. What do you mean that the scale, it keeps on going up? How tall are you? How much do you weigh now? Good morning, Mark. How are you, sir? Good to have you here. Andrew, thank you so much for being here. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men. I am Skip LaCour. So glad you are joining me. Let me know if you're joining me on YouTube at Skip LaCour, on Facebook at Skip LaCour page. Thank you guys so much for being here. And on Instagram at Skip LaCour. 5'7", 175 pounds. Okay. What do you mean that's the scale? So you lost 140 pounds, right? It's where you kind of bottom it out. Now what you're gaining it back. You're lifting every day. So tell me, 1,800 calories. So you lost 140 pounds. Are you at the low point right now? All right. Or you were, what, 50 pounds, even less, and now you're gaining it back. Tell me the journey. Is this something temporary, or is this something that you've been gradually? I can tell you this. I don't know how old you are, but at 5'7", 175, you're eating 1,800 calories. You're not going to gain weight. You're not going to gain fat eating so few calories. All right, so I'm lifting every day. You know, I was at 163 3 weeks ago, and now I'm at 175. So you lost 140 pounds, got down to 163 3 weeks ago, and then for whatever reasons, in the last 3 weeks, you estimate that you gained 12 pounds eating 1,800 calories, right? Am I right about that? Bad boy flexing. I'm getting my lab test done tomorrow and then getting on TRT and HGH for a while. All right. Welcome, 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 gentlemen. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men. I am Skip LaCour. So glad you're joining me here. Welcome, guys. Do this show live. I started at 3 a.m. Pacific time, 6 a.m. Eastern time. Look for me a big mad push doing it every single day, right? So I've been doing this live show in the morning on TikTok for a while, and so now over the last couple of days, doing it over 4 platforms. Got 4 cameras in front of me, right? So if you're a little bit older, you have a busy, productive life. Number one, make sure that you follow. Right, I've got lots of videos here I post all throughout the day. Right, this is a channel to learn. Right, you know what? Maybe I'll start talking about current events. All right, maybe at least fitness current events. Right, but I like to really help men who maybe you're a little bit older, but you haven't been training for 25 years, maybe 25 months, maybe even 25 weeks. All right, get you a strong foundation, move forward with certainty and confidence. I know that a lot of smart men kind of get in this, get out of it. And, you know, I had a gentleman the other day talking, and, you know, I could really relate. He said that, you know, he just joined a gym. He's a smart guy, accomplished life, and he just joined a gym. And he just said he just felt so overwhelmed there. And I was thinking, you know, even though I've been in the gym for 37 years, I can kind of relate to that. You're, you know, a smart guy. Hey, what could be, you know, what's this working out thing, right? And he goes in there, and there's all the different machines, and he's watching people feeling out of place, feeling new, the uncomfortable feeling. You know, it can jump right in there, right? But I get it. If you want some certainty and confidence, some structure, I want to help you do that. I've got lots of ways to help you with the videos that are posted on this platform. I want to do this show for you live every morning. You can learn from the questions that are answered by other men who are like you. And you can ask the questions too. All right, but make sure you follow. Appreciate you being here. Join my show live. Tell me, what are you guys doing right now too? Are you getting ready for work and you just happen to have TikTok, YouTube, Facebook open, and you scrolled by my page? All right, are you in the gym? Are you doing cardio? Let me know your patterns right now. So Tank says, yeah, sure, it's just water. But being someone who was heavy for a long time, any gain is very mental. Yeah, no, I certainly understand that. So there's something, if you know you're still eating the 1,800 calories, you're not going to gain fat. But, you know, 13 pounds in 3 weeks is significant. There's something, right, different, obviously, right? You know, one thing, again, you know, helping out so many men, everybody's different, right? So I don't know your particular situation. But I know how important this is to you, especially when you've lost a lot of weight. I've helped a lot of men who just, you know, the weight thing has been their challenge. They've been very successful in other areas of life. Just the weight thing has been a challenge. All right. And so I get all that. And a lot of times they make it a little bit more challenging. So when you weigh yourself, I think you know this, Tank, is that when you get up in the morning, you're going to weigh a lot less than the night before. Some men, that's a good 6 pound difference. You know, just the difference between their evening weight to the morning weight. Water retentions, you know, how much, you know, bowel, you know, that, you know, those type of things, right? So a lot of times they take the highest point that they've been in the last 3 weeks, you know, the lowest. And again, if you have a couple bad days eating, right, you don't eat much, you know, right, you know, your weight is going to get down, especially if, you know, you don't work out, you're not eating carbs, low calories, you know, your muscles which are 70% fluid, and they're in a constant state of fluctuation, they're going to be, for those couple days, you're going to lose a lot more pounds just in fluid in the muscles. All right. So if you take your morning weight after a couple days of not getting a lot of calories down, maybe not even working out, right? And you take your lowest point and you compare that to your highest point at night, well, that's going to make that 13 pounds more dramatic. A lot of men do that, right? It's because I know how important this is to you, and you get concerns, but you're overstating your lowest point, and then you're overstating your highest point. Right? Any gain I would cause concern, but a lot of times, and again, I don't know your situation. Something to think about though, but sometimes that difference may be 6 pounds in 3 weeks. 6 pounds versus 13 pounds is a big difference. But I can tell you, I don't know what's exactly going on in your situation, but if you're eating 1,800 calories, you are not gaining fat in 3 weeks. And again, so when I coach men and I take them on like a 12-week journey, my goal is to help them understand all these things, right? There's a lot of things going on with your training and your nutrition, right? And then really what your expectation for all the effort that you're putting in, right? What should you expect as far as the difference in the mirror, weight on the scale, right? A lot of men overestimate like how much muscle they'll be building. They're ambitious and they expect a lot more in fat loss for their effort. And so when they don't see that, it causes a lot of uncertainty just because they don't know how the process works. So when I take men through a 12-week journey, I've got a very comprehensive ways. I always say, look, you do what I tell you to do. Some of it, you should do, but a lot of it's going to be, and I use the quote from the Karate Kid, I say you do, no question, right? There's a method to my madness that you're not going to really understand why I'm having you do it until 6 or 8 weeks or closer to when our 12 weeks are done. But it's a very important part of the mental process, and certainly having understanding why your body changes, what you're doing to make it change, right? So I say you do, no question, right? And if you guys don't know that analogy, when the Karate Kid was working under Mr. Miyagi, he would have him wax his car and then paint the fence. Wax on, wax off, wax on, paint the fence up and down. And he would do that for weeks. And so the Karate Kid was getting impatient. Why am I doing this? Teach me, I came here to learn karate, right? And you are having me do this. And so he let him just say, look, just keep on. I say you do, no question. And so finally, the Karate Kid kept on doing it, but he was frustrated. And then he went to the master. Really, he's fed up this time. And, the master, he finally said, okay, this is the time. And so he started swinging at him or whatever, attacking him. And so he started blocking punches, the same motion of waxing the car and blocking other punches with the same motion as painting the fence. And so he looked at his hands and he said, wow, I did that. Couldn't believe that he did that, right? I'm not saying that this whole fitness journey is the most complicated thing in the world, but there's a lot of men who are struggling to just move more, eat less, work out, feel certain and confident with their workout, feel certain and confident that with eating that their effort will pay off. A lot of smart men, and just getting over that hump. Sometimes it's certain distinctions, strategies. It's kind of understanding what you need to do, but also all the things you don't need to do that you don't get filled with ambition, and you're doing all these things that really don't matter. And you're doing a poor job. It's not your fault, but you're doing a poor job of watching all these videos and picking out what's most important. You're doing a lot of details. Really, all the things that are different are what's most presented on the internet, but they're not game changers. It may seem like they're game changers because that's what's talked about most. But the basic organizing principle is just like life. People don't want to hear that. Okay, I've heard that. Give me something new. And that was the whole thing with Karate Kid. Yeah, give me something new. What's this, type of thing. All right. But until you kind of learn those organizing principles, you're always going to struggle. You'll go from one thing to the other, hoping, and it's going to feel great. This is a new strategy. I'm going to do that. That sounds new. But it's just going to give you some excitement. You're going to have something to focus on for a while until you give up on that, right? Let's see here. So Mark says, I've been following you for a while, and I feel like you never sleep. I don't know about that. Heading to St. Louis again. All right. Okay, Tang says, I did reintroduce creatine, so I know that causes retention. What creatine does, the muscles are 70% fluid and they're in a constant state of fluctuation, right? Depending on how many calories you're at, if you're under eating, or you have carbs in your system that naturally draw fluid in the muscle, like creatine does, right? So creatine could be a few pounds of that too. So you just start it, you just reintroduce it, so that could be. Hey, Anua, thank you so much for sharing this live video. Guys, thank you so much for the follows on TikTok. Say hello on YouTube, watching there. Let me know if you're new here or you're a subscriber. Say hello on Facebook. Lewis, Randall, thank you for your comments. Thank you so much for being here. Langdon, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you being here. Straight. Nothing can make men bow like a woman, and that's the main problem in this world. Tell me more about that, Dan. The clothes are still fitting well, but just the number drives me crazy. Gonna trust the process. Yeah. Well, you know what? Hey, fill out that questionnaire in my bio. Tell me your story a little bit more. I think that you filling out that questionnaire and kind of going through that process, answering those questions. I think that that will help you sort it out. Submit that to me. I'll take a look at it. Maybe there's something more that I can see by you filling out that questionnaire other than what we've talked about. David, hello. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here this morning. Make sure you follow. I appreciate all the follows. Thank you for those tapping that screen over on TikTok.
You recover. And for older men, recovery isn't just important. It's the hidden key to growth. Now, let me take you behind the curtain. When you lift weights, you're not building muscle. You're tearing it down. You're sending a signal to your body that says, we need to get stronger, we need to get bigger, we need to adapt. But the actual building doesn't happen until later, when you eat, sleep, and allow your body to recover. If you never give your body the time it needs, You're like a construction crew that keeps tearing down a building before it's finished being repaired. Eventually, nothing gets built. This is where I see so many older men struggle. They think taking an extra rest day is weakness. They think if they're not sore, they're not working hard enough, so they push and push and push. And then they wonder why they're not making progress, or worse, why they're constantly injured. Gentlemen, recovery is not laziness. Recovery is strategy. Here's what matters most: sleep. This is when your body rebuilds. If you're not sleeping, you're not growing. Nutrition. Fuel your body with protein, carbs, and fats so it has the raw materials to repair. Rest days, these aren't optional, they're part of the program. They allow your joints, tendons, and nervous system to recharge, listening to your body. Some days you can push harder, some days you need to pull back at this stage of life. Wisdom beats ego. When I embraced recovery not as a break but as a weapon, that's when my body finally started responding again. And that's what I teach my clients. Think of it like business. You don't grow by grinding 24/7 until you collapse. You grow by working hard, yes, but also by stepping back, recharging, and coming back sharper. Recovery is the same thing. If you want consistent growth, stop worshiping the grind and start respecting recovery. It's not a weakness, it's your greatest advantage. If you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and finally unlock growth through the power of recovery, go to talkwithskip.com right now. Fill out that questionnaire. Send me a picture if you want to make it personal. Let's create a plan that balances hard work with smart recovery so you can grow stronger for years to come. Chapter 10.
So is all the lifting okay for your heart? So many bodybuilders get early heart issues. I don't know what the real answer to that would be. The first thing is that you would think of it's not about the lifting of the weight. I think it would. I don't know this, right? I'm a drug-free bodybuilder. I always have been, right? And I know a lot of natural bodybuilders like to cast stones and make judgments of all the guys on steroids, right? I don't think that. I don't think most of the guys who take drugs, and I've spent like zero time in my 37 years learning about drugs. I don't know the names of them, the combinations of them, or anything like that, right? I probably observe from a distance like you. I see the names scroll up on my screen. Sometimes I even get men on here telling me what they think my mix of drugs are here. And so I'm familiar with the names. I don't know the combinations. I don't know all the specific things they do, right? So let me just tell you that, right? And like I said, natural bodybuilders like to, cast judgment on the character and everything on the men who take steroids and everything, right? And they make their assumptions on, well, that's for steroid bodybuilders, the heart thing, right? So I don't know. I'm sure all the drugs that bodybuilders take. So, first of all, there aren't very many natural bodybuilders, right? And the ones, that you would even know of, right? But I don't know of the natural bodybuilders who that you would care about, that you would know about, and I don't know of anyone natural bodybuilders who died early of heart challenges, right? That doesn't mean that there aren't any. And all the lifting that they did for 40 years, right? I don't know if there are, right? I don't know of any natural bodybuilders who have died of heart problems early. But again, how many natural bodybuilders do you even know of, right? But there are plenty of very popular, very accomplished, non-natural bodybuilders who have died of early heart attacks. But to be honest, I don't know the reasons. I definitely think that most bodybuilders who competed and took steroids, I don't think that any of them, again, I don't know. You guys probably hear more than me. I don't think they're I don't think that they are like proud of their drug use. I don't think, if they, I don't know. I don't know what they think. I don't claim to be right. Why do you ask that? Are you, how old are you, VJ? And are you having heart issues and you're wondering if it's, because of your lifting weights? Do you think it's because of drug use? Right? That's the whole thing, just say, I'm fine, but this guy isn't, right? Is that a good way to determine your situation? Because I'm sure you're asking about for you, right? What's your situation? VJ, how old are you? Are you concerned, even though you're lifting weights and you're not taking drugs, you're wondering if it's the weight training itself? I just recently saw an Indian bodybuilder pass away due to heart issues. Yeah. Now, how old was he? And not that matters, but was he? Like I said, I don't know how much I care about. He was 49. Well, there's a real estate agent, that I know, and I don't know. I would say he's in his early 50s, and I saw him and I just talked to him. Nice guy. I think he's a runner. He doesn't lift weights, and he had a heart attack. So, heart attacks, happen on all different ages. So I really don't know. I would say, do you? Not that it matters. Not that I'm, passing in judgment. But are you using steroids, other drugs, and lifting weights? Or are you just lifting weights and you're wondering how healthy is that for you? Right? Because I'd be more concerned about the drug use. Obviously, that's my perspective. But you can talk to. There's a lot of guys that. Don't worry about that. Nicholas, hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, guys. But it's really good questions. All right, just because, natural bodybuilders. A lot of times they think just because they're a natural bodybuilder, it's like the healthiest thing in the world, right? It certainly is healthier than taking drugs, I'm sure. But, being that lean, working hard, putting your body under that stress with so few calories for so long, if you want to be a good drug-free bodybuilder, man, you're going to have to diet a lot longer. So is that good for you? All right. Let's see, heading into the gym, make sure the younger guys aren't afraid of getting older. Awesome. Thank you for the motivation and answer to my question, Skips. Have a great day. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, Randall. Right? So he's referring to a little call to action. I said, be such an awesome example of energy, health, fitness, how you carry yourself. Now they're a little bit older. Be such an amazing example of that. So younger men no longer fear getting older. So that's kind of one of my little taglines. Let's see here. I appreciate the questions over on Instagram. Going live here. I'll be going live here. Should men 50 or over lift each body part once or twice per week? Really, that depends on their goals and with what intensity they train with. So, I'm curious, Ingle, doesn't sound, are you over 50 or are you just wondering, right? A lot of times, because, what's this, tell me what the thinking is there. If you're older, you can't build muscle as quickly, you don't have as much testosterone, so I better do it twice a week because once a week won't get it done. I got to do twice the amount of work. I'd hit the body twice to make up for my lack of testosterone and weight. That seems like it would make sense, but that's not really how it works, right? It's really based on your intensity. If you knew how to train, right, and not work hard, right, because everybody works hard. I always use the analogy, a distance runner works hard. A middle distance runner works hard. A sprinter works hard, but they all have a different level of intensity to complete their mission, their race, right? So, you know, a sprinter, if he wanted to run a marathon, right, he couldn't run as hard. He can't use that intense strategy. He'll never finish the marathon, right? And if a marathon runner takes that strategy, but now he does, you know, less work, runs 100 meter as a sprinter, obviously he's not going to do very well with that. So you got to match your level of intensity with how much volume, how much training, how often you train, frequency. You got to match the intensity with what you set out to do, right? If I had a longer 2-hour workout 7 days a week, for whatever reasons, all right, I'm gonna have to train a certain way to survive all of that, right? And then, you know, if I want to get it done, I want to only train the body part once a week. I want to train 4 times a week, 45 minutes or less. Well, I got to train at a different level of intensity to make that work. So Roger says, Skip here, been here before, 59, and ripped. Did 200 burpees and Navy SEALs this morning. Love you, bro. Well, awesome. Thanks for being here, Roger. Appreciate you being here. Hey, Nicholas, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, guys. All right. So again, if you watch this live broadcast, hey, I'm going to be doing this live every morning at 3 a.m. Pacific time, 6 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure you like it. Come back here often. If you're watching the replay version, post your questions and I'll start the show with your questions. Make sure you reach out to me. Go to talkwithskip.com. If you want to fill out that questionnaire, I suggest you fill out that questionnaire. I'll take a look at it. Text me a picture. Whatever you feel comfortable is fine. On TikTok, you can click that link over in my bio. Go to talkwithskip.com, fill out that questionnaire, fill it out thoroughly, and I will help you. Hey, Jim Tedder, how are you, sir? So glad to see you. How are you doing, sir? It's been many, many years. Is that the same Jim Tedder in Michigan? You watching? Well, good to have you here.